As he recovers from coronavirus, President Trump is promising to be back on the campaign trail soon and says he will take part in the next presidential debate in less than 2 weeks.
The lower half of the tickets are behind closed doors in Salt Lake City right now, prepping for tomorrow night's vice presidential debate.
NBC's Jay Gray joins us from Utah with a closer look at that contest and the campaign.
Hey there, good evening, Sue. Good evening, Brian. Tomorrow night, Mike Pence and Kamala Harris will be right here on the University of Utah campus, sitting just over 12 feet apart, face to face, for the first and only time during this campaign.
Did not specify.
As crews wrap up preparations, so do the candidates who will be center stage here.
Stakes in this election have never been higher. The choice has never been clearer. And I look forward to the opportunity.
Wednesday's debate, the only opportunity for voters to see the vice presidential candidates face to face before Election Day.
I plan on talking about our vision for the future. And, you know, Joe and I feel very strongly that there is so much at stake, but there is so much we can do.
Well, the one thing we have to do is we have to unite the country.
After an NBC town hall last night, Joe Biden is talking to voters today in Pennsylvania. President Trump at the White House in the middle of his recovery from COVID-19, but promising to be at the next presidential debate in just 9 days and back on the campaign trail soon.
Search your hearts.
In a video released by the Biden campaign this morning, former First Lady Michelle Obama lashes out at the president, critical of his handling of the pandemic and calling him a racist and liar.
So what the president is doing is once again patently false. It's morally wrong. And yes, it is racist.
In this video posted overnight,
don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives.
The president points to his leadership as one reason he contracted the virus.
I stood out front. I led. Nobody that's a leader would not do what I did.
In about 24 hours, the lower half of the tickets take the lead in this campaign. Now, analysts do expect the debate to be contentious, and there's already some disagreement here. The debate commission has called for plexiglass to be in between the two candidates, but the Pence campaign is pushing back. They haven't fully agreed to that stipulation just yet. In Salt Lake City, Utah, Jay Gray, News 8.
You can watch the vice presidential debate tomorrow night at 9 o'clock right here on Wood TV 8.
Joining us now, NBC News national political correspondent Steve Kornacki. Steve, thanks for joining us this afternoon. I want to start on the national perspective. We've got some movement in the polls coming out over the past 48 hours. What are you guys seeing?
Yeah, that's exactly right. What you're looking at here is the average of all the different national polls that are out there right now. And you can see it. Joe Biden's lead nationally has now broken over 10%. It's actually 10.2 if you look at this here. That's a gain for Biden of about 3 points from a week ago. So when you looked at all the polling heading into that debate last week, Biden was up about 7 points on average nationally. You had the debate. You've got the news of the president's hospitalization. That started to factor into these, and now Biden a week later finds himself ahead by really a little bit more than 10 points nationally with only weeks to go.
All right, let's drill down a little bit. We want to focus on Michigan. I know that you're keeping a real close eye on voters here in Kent County in particular. That's part of your county-to-county coverage. Now, 2008, the only election Kent County has gone blue since the 60s. Can Biden flip it this year?
Yeah, it's interesting. Let's take a look back at 2016 and what happened in Michigan. Obviously, everything went right for Donald Trump in Michigan in 2016 to pull out basically an 11,000 vote victory. But if we look inside Kent County, Trump did carry it, did get it by 3 points, although you take a look, you mentioned 2008. There was also 2012 with Mitt Romney winning it. So Trump's margin was down from where Romney got it. And Democrats believe this is the Grand Rapids area. They think it's the kind of area, a metropolitan area, where they think they've made gains and they are poised to make gains in the Trump era. They think places like this are places where voters have had a particular reaction to Trump. And again, they think they can take what had been a 7-point loss in 12, 3-point loss in 16, and turn that into a win in 2020 and make it part of a formula that could get Michigan back blue for them.
Steve, how critical is Michigan to the president this election? Does he have a path to victory without our state?
Yeah, let's take a look at it here. Call up the electoral map. I mean, again, this is where things landed in 2016. So Trump got 306. Let's say Michigan were to flip blue. Let's put that in Biden's category just so you can see how the numbers move. Trump is still above 270 just by losing Michigan. But the problem for him is Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, all three of those states were extremely narrow. The margin was less than 1 point. As if Trump is losing Michigan, if he's losing ground there, we've got polling that suggests he might be in, let's say, Pennsylvania as well. And if Pennsylvania goes blue, as well as Michigan, all of a sudden, Trump has exactly 270. And if Wisconsin went too, and again, the polling right now is Trump behind there. There it is. Biden's over 270. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, all extremely narrow for Trump in 2016. He has got to find a way to hold on to at least one of these states, and the polling has him down in all three right now.
And Steve, lastly, the U.S. Senate race here in Michigan kind of flying under the radar a little bit. Talk about incumbent Gary Peters and his challenger, John James. What are you seeing in that particular race?
Yeah, it's interesting where you've got a race there. There are very few like this where you've got a Democratic incumbent that Republicans think they have a shot at taking out. And I think for Republicans in Michigan, what they want is that presidential race at least to be close. If Trump wins the state at the presidential level, I think they have a great hope they can get the Senate race with it. There was not a single state in the country in 2016 where one party won the presidential race and another party won the Senate race. So in Republicans' ideal world, obviously, Trump's winning Michigan and he's carrying the Senate seat with him. But also right now, I think Republicans, when you talk to them a little realistically, they think they want that presidential race close enough in Michigan. They think if they can get it just a couple points, even if they lose, they think they have a shot at the Senate seat. That would be a little bit of a break from 2016 if you get that split, though.
All right, breaking down the numbers here 4 weeks out from today. Steve Kornacki at the Big Board. Steve, thanks for your time today. And over the next month, NBC News will continue to focus on what happens here in Kent County. You can watch coverage daily on MSNBC.